Good morning, Internet land. My name is Christina Bloom. I'm the host of the show that you are watching on WLTK-DB. This is Be the Change. So, in this show, we talk about different ways where we can change the world in positive ways. We want to be talking about how we speak makes a difference. We want to be talking about how we behave makes a difference. If we help one person, we're helping everyone. It's energy, it's the pebble in the pond. That's what this show is all about. And today we are going to be introducing a very special guest later in the show. He is the creator of Love Lingo. That's Love Lingo Apparel and different other things, gratitude, peace, respect. Um, Dave is a good friend of mine, and we, ever since I saw the things that he had at a fair, I just fell in love with his stuff. I'm wearing one of his shirts now. I have a couple of shirts, and they're front and back. And if I thought that I could get up and show it to you without knocking down my screen and making a mess, I would. But it's exactly the same front and back. So when Dave comes on in about 20 minutes, we will be talking about his inspiration for creating Love Lingo apparel and other items. And I'm just so excited about that because this is one of my favorite topics, because what we put out into the universe is what we get back. And a lot of people struggle with that because it takes time to change that around. And that's all part of the law of attraction. You know, if you've been thinking negatively for your whole life and you're 40 years old, and then you hear all this stuff about change the way that you think, change how you're speaking, it'll change your life. And they do it for a day and it doesn't work. Well, that's just BS. That doesn't work. Why are you even wasting my time with this? It takes time to make that shift. And we're going to be talking about that too, and how words matter. Words matter a lot. As an author and as a publisher, my whole life kind of wraps around words and how important words are and how they're put together. So we will be talking about that. I would like to make an announcement for myself on November 12th through the 14th in northern Wisconsin. So I realize that anybody on the planet can hear the show. But if you're interested in seeing the beauty of northern Wisconsin, I am doing a women's retreat, Deeper Awakening. So we're going to be doing some really deep work on changing the things that are stopping you from where you want to be in your life. We're going to be talking about and doing exercises and digging really deeply into the blockages that we have in our lives. We do still have a couple of openings for that retreat. You can find that information on my website, christinabloom.com. So you can find that information there. We would love to have you. This is going to be really profound for a lot of people. I'm not going to say life-changing because that's on the participants to change their own lives. But there will certainly be a boost in that direction. So I am really excited about that retreat. It's because of the lockdown the last couple of years, I haven't been able to do one. So I've really been excited about doing another retreat. So hopefully a couple of ladies will join us there. Moving on from that, let's talk about words. Let's talk about words and how the words that you say, especially to yourself, make a difference in your life. So we want to be talking about, when we're talking about ourselves, let's pick an easy topic. Weight, right? How many of us are concerned about our weight, or we want to look better, or we want to feel better, or we want to really drop the extra pounds? Boy, ladies, ladies in menopause, I'm talking to you. Be nice to yourselves. It's a really hard thing to do too, because I was always in great shape for years and years and years, for decades. And then as I got older, it was harder to get the weight off. It was harder to feel like I was strong and healthy and moving forward. And that's really about what we should be focusing on with that. And again, weight loss is not the topic of the show. The topic is, how are you talking to yourselves about your bodies? How are you talking to yourselves about your finances? How are you talking to yourselves about everything in your life? And how are you talking to other people? Because words matter. And words matter is really the whole point. You can see on my shirt here empathy, love, peace, laugh, kindness, gentle, hope, soul, respect, positive, compassion, trust, faith, oregano, appreciation. And I'm not going to just stand up again because I don't want to knock my screen over. But the words that we present to ourselves really matter. And Dave is going to be talking about the work of Dr. Masaru, I hope I'm saying that, Emoto's work with water, and how the energy that you put into what you consume makes a difference. If you're angry when you're making dinner, you're kind of putting anger into your food and your family's food. So we have to be careful about the words that we use. When I am talking to myself, and you know, I'm overweight. I would really like to look like I did 30 years ago. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I guess it could. I want to be loving myself. I want to be, you can't criticize yourself thin. You can't talk negatively about wealth and expect to have it. You can't talk negatively about your family and expect them to respect and love you. There's so many ways that we need to be paying attention to what we say and how we say it. I, for one, have really struggled with this throughout my life. This has been a hard lesson for me. And now, even now, I still catch myself, ooh, that's the wrong thought. That's the thought that's going to keep what you want away from you. You need to stop doing that. So then I change it. I change my thoughts. Let's say, finances. Okay, I'm self employed, and a lot of you are too. And so when we start worrying about money, all of a sudden we don't have any income coming in. How do we change that? My life moves with ease and grace. You know, pick a few phrases that you can use every day that are positive, that are moving you forward. And you know, something like my life moves with ease and grace can apply to everything from shoelaces to finances to whatever, to relationships. And it's so important that we are using the words that are moving us forward. You know, there's this show exists because I got so tired of the negative and I wanted it to be positive. I wanted everything in this world, you know, to start moving in a positive direction. Well, I can't change the whole world by myself, but I can put out vibes that reach other people, and together we can all change the world. And that is something that I really hope that we are able to do together. That's something that I really want us to be able to do together, is to move forward with these positive words. You know, my life moves with ease and grace. Gratitude. I'm grateful is a very powerful statement. I am grateful. Very, very powerful statement, because you get more of what you focus on. So I choose to focus on what I'm grateful for. You know, I have amazing clients. I have amazing students. I have an amazing husband. I focus on what I want to create more of. And if you're stuck in, oh my gosh, what else can go wrong? Oh, everything is horrible. Well, you guess what you're going to get more of? Exactly that. You're going to get more of what you're focusing on. I am just really, really excited. I want to bring Dave in right away. I know that I usually talk longer, but Dave is such a dynamic person, and I really just would like to bring him in right away and start talking about all this great stuff. Ha! I knew you were going to wear the tie-dye, Dave. How are you this morning?
Awesome. Awesome. And yourself?
Awesome. I'm great. I'm great. Hey, can you start out telling us a little bit about Love Lingo and how people can get their own awesome apparel stuff?
Sure. Love Lingo is at elevatemyvibe.com. And then there's also in Google Marketplace and Facebook, and you can get on with Instagram too. Instagram's Love Lingo 1111.
Awesome.
And so, yes, and I guess, Love Lingo, would you like me to explain the concept and how it started? And
That would be great. Yes, please.
okay. Actually, it started with my whole journey. which I actually, when I was growing up, I actually had, I guess we'll just say some talents, and then they kind of got beat down, and I ended up putting on my Harry Potter invisibility cloak, and fast forwarding, I ended up becoming a baking instructor at the New Lisbon prison or correctional institute. And I'm very empathic, and that is not a good place for an empathic person.
No.
The negative energy is just, it just drained me. It got to the point where I was not even me, and people were like, "What's wrong with you?" You know.
Right.
And I ended up running into somebody, and they mentioned that I should have a Reiki session. I got a Reiki session, and I instantly went right back to me. And I was on my way home, and I was like, "Man, this is just amazing." And my spirit guides are like, "You're gonna learn this," and I'm like, "No, I am not." And within 10 days, I was in my first Reiki class. So.
Of course you were.
And that, I think we'll probably discuss that as time goes on too. But during that whole process, I learned of Dr. Emoto, and got a copy of his book right here.
Oh,
and
cool.
Dr. Emoto did many studies with water, but one they did is he took water, put it under a microscope, took a picture of it, took the same water, and then put it in vials or little bottles, and then labeled them love, hate, peace, you're cute, you're a fool, thousands of different things. And then after 8 hours, took a picture of it again, and the word itself changed the molecular structure of the water. And I was like blown away, and I was like, wait a minute, words change water. I'm 60% water. Those words are going to change me. Right. So I actually ran out and I got markers, wrote on them, slept in them, and I could tell. So then I fine-tuned them for a while, and then I brought them out. I brought them out as sleep shirts, and people were like, "Sleep? I want to wear them to work because work sucks, or I want to wear them to yoga or meditation, or I want to wear them wherever." And it's like, oh, okay. So it's just kind of blown into this big movement, and that's why that's why all of my Love Lingo apparel is printed front and back with all just positive words. And most of the words I've actually seen the pictures for.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that way you're actually, you're enveloped in positivity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
And I know you love wearing yours.
Oh, yeah.
You've got one on yourself. The number one comment from people is that it's like wearing a giant hug.
I agree.
And I think I've heard you say that yourself too. So.
Yep. Yeah. Dave, I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right. Your Facebook page is Love Lingo, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And Instagram is Love Lingo 1111.
Okay. Yeah, I'm putting those up in the chat so that our producer can get them on the screen for you.
Okay. So. And the website is elevatemyvibe.com.
Yep, we've got that up there already. So
okay.
Well, I love your website. Go ahead.
Oh, back to Dr. Emoto's water study. This, hopefully you can try to find it. That's what water looked like with the words love and grateful.
Oh, beautiful.
And I know you were talking about grateful earlier, so there's love and grateful. It's kind of hard with the camera and the shininess. For those that can't see this, that are on the radio, it's a beautiful snowflake type picture. And then this next couple of pages, that's thank you in 7 different languages.
Wow.
So even the language makes a difference. This one over, wrong one. This one over here, that's actually Japanese, which is arigato. So I put that on. That's on up here.
Yeah.
And because it was Japanese study, and then I thought it was actually prettier than thank you itself. So I put both on, and then it's actually kind of fun because this way, kids are actually learning thank you in another language as well. So.
That's awesome. I know when we go to fairs together, if I want to find out where Dave is, I just look for the crowd because they're always hovered around his booth because the energy coming from it is just so warm and loving. loving and giving, and it's just the energy is beautiful. I try to set up next to him as often as I can.
Yeah, we have fun.
We do, and I want to feel that energy all day.
What's kind of interesting is a lot of people end up standing there, but they don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are also a lot of people that do everything they can to avoid my booth.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, because they feel uncomfortable with positive stuff, you know, they're just so down and low. And we go back, these over here, that's you fool in Japanese, you fool in English, and you make me sick, I will kill you. And then the next page is angel and Satan. And
Wow.
for those of you that can't see them, they're actually kind of a disgusting looking, distorted, ugly type image compared to the snowflakes of the positive words. So
Yeah,
when I learned that, it's like, hey, I want the water in me to look like those beautiful snowflakes. I don't want it to be that distorted, ugly looking stuff, you know?
Right. I have an echo going on. I'm not sure why, but I don't know if anyone else can hear it.
I can't hear it.
Okay, good.
In case you can't tell, I'm having some tea out of a Love Lingo coffee mug. Because that way I'm changing the water in my coffee mug as well.
Exactly.
And on that note too, I also have Love Lingo wristbands that I keep on my water bottle.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And all the Love Lingo wristbands are actually the chakra colors too. So
nice. Or for those who don't understand chakras, it comes in rainbow.
Yes, exactly.
Because rainbow and chakra are the same colors. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned me wearing the tie-dye. I love wearing the tie-dye. The tie-dye shirt I was actually, we received an award through the Kovar holistic contest a year ago. And this is the 7 chakra colored tie-dye shirt.
Nice.
Because all the chakra colors are in the shirt. And that's why I kind of tend to gravitate towards it, because I get all the energy from, the chakras to help keep my chakras open.
Great. Well, as long as you're bringing up chakras, just for our listeners who might not know what that means, you want to go ahead and explain it? Because I know you're a Reiki master too.
Yes.
Okay.
The chakras are the 7 main points in our body. They're energy points. And they close, they get restricted. Each one has its own color. They go from crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and then root. And each one has its own vibration, its own color, its own purpose. So a lot of times health issues end up being because you're having a closed chakra, a closed energy point. And a lot of people end up having throat issues because they don't speak their truth.
Right.
Because they close that off. And to be honest with you, I'm guilty of that one myself. I think we all are. And then, for years I had all kinds of throat problems. And then it was like, oh, okay. Once I started learning some of the stuff when it comes to energy, because everything is energy. That's one thing I didn't mention with the Emoto water study. I mean, his study showed that words can affect the molecular structure of water. Well, everything's got a vibration. Everything has a frequency, and everything affects everything.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, I know. I know it can be hard to explain that to people too. I know that people, excuse me, people who don't live in our world, the energy world, and understanding all of that, they look at me like I've got 3 heads when I say something like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then another thing that hit me hard is, the body is actually over 60% water. Mm-hmm. I use the word I use this number 60% because I don't want people to think that I'm over exaggerating. But I have read like the brain is 90%. So now think of it. Think of the words you say and think. Absolutely. And if they're affecting the water in your brain, you need to be a lot more careful on what you say and what you think.
Very much so. Right. Right. You know, it's like I have a friend who recently posted on Facebook, well, God, what's next? Like, why are you inviting that? Stop and think
Right.
about your words. How about saying, how does it get any better than this?
Yes.
You know, because we do get what we ask for but we get it. That's maybe not asking for it, but we do get what we put out there. Right. So if we're putting out, oh God, what's going to go wrong next? Then you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff go wrong. And then you're going to be like, why does this always happen to me? Oh, you want more? Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Stop and think. Stop and think. And I know when I'm teaching on manifesting, you know, it's like one day or 1 hour or one phrase is not going to change 20 or 30 or 40 years of buildup of the way that you've been thinking. I mean, you know, think about it. If you're in a round pool, so, you know, and you're walking and you're going in one direction over and over and over around the edge of the pool, and then you stop and you turn around and go the other way, the first thing you're going to get hit with is that energy that's already moving that way, pushing up against you. And I've tried to get people to understand that's what you're doing. You just have to get through that initial wave and keep going to get to where you want to be. And I try to use visuals like that because I've discovered a lot of people are visual. And Dave, I hope that you're going to stick with us, right? You're going to be here when we come back from commercial break?
Oh, yes, of course.
Awesome. Awesome. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
We are living in rapidly changing times that can leave you wondering what steps to take next. Let Christina Bloom, spiritual advisor, help you find the clarity you need to move forward with confidence. Christina is a psychic with more than 20 years of experience in spiritual guidance and mediumship. She can help you find the answers when you have important decisions to make. In addition, she also facilitates past and other life explorations and soul retrievals. For more information on Christina's services, as well as her extensive list of classes, please visit her website at ChristinaBloom.com. That's ChristinaBloom.com. To make an appointment or to book Christina now, send her an email, Christina@ChristinaBloom.com. That's Christina@ChristinaBloom.com.
Welcome back, everyone. It is 23 minutes past the hour, and we are here with the creator of Love Lingo, Dave Anderson. Welcome back, Dave. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thanks for having me.
This
is a
is
lot of fun.
It is fun. This is one of my favorite topics. So please feel free to expound on Love Lingo and how water is changed by, you know, and DNA too. There are studies now that are coming out that you can change your DNA with your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's powerful. What we think is powerful.
Definitely. I'm going to kind of going back to before commercial. It kind of reminded me of something. I thought I'd just mention this. Way back when I was going through, it looks like I might have lost you. But way back when I was going through kind of a tough time and stuff, and I was trying to be positive, all that kind of stuff. Well, there's an old Beatles song, Getting Better. You probably know it, got to admit it's getting better, a little better all the time. Mm-hmm. So I'd always sing that, but I also knew in the background that Lennon always say, if you listen real carefully, you could hear Lennon in the background saying, can't get much worse. And the universe was hearing me saying that, and it was saying, want to bet? Watch this.
Hold my beer.
So no matter what I did, everything got worse. And that's because I had that in my head.
Right. Those
and it took a while before I was like, oh, that's what's going on. So I wanted to kind of mention on that. So it's little even thing, even if it's not intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the universe does not understand the word not.
Right.
Or don't.
Right. Because it focuses on where your energy's going.
Right.
It focuses on
I don't want it to rain today, well, the universe is going to say, hey, he wants it to rain today.
Right. He's focused on rain. That must be what he wants. Boom. There you go.
Yep, exactly.
Right. Right. It's so amazing to me that, first of all, why are we not teaching kids this when they're learning to talk? You know what I mean? It's like,
Good point.
because I have a toddler grandson, and the word that he probably hears the most from everyone is no, don't do that. Don't touch that. And most of it is to keep him safe. I get that. But that's where we learn our language. That's where we start learning our language. And if we're hearing no and don't and, restriction, 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 then we're incorporating that into our DNA and into the water in our body moving forward. So I don't even know how to fix that situation, because I'm also the one going, don't touch that, because I don't want him to get burned, or I don't want him to pinch his fingers, or, that sort of thing. But how can we get it out to more people? Think about the words you use. I know you can't say I'm not doing this thing on the table, because I'm so excited about this topic. I love this topic. But how can we do that? How can we get out to more people? Think about the words you use, and try to pay attention to those little thoughts in the background that are sabotaging us.
Correct. And I like to say, be careful of the words you think, say, and wear.
And wear.
And wear. And think of the impact. I mean, every Love Lingo shirt that's out there is affecting hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that wear, teachers that love Love Lingo, and they wear it to school to be a positive influence on the kids. And I mean, think of that. They're walking down the hall and they're affecting the kids in front and behind them.
Right.
Because all Love Lingo is printed both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We have a mutual friend who is recovering from cancer. Are you free to tell her story?
Yeah, I was actually going to type it off so I could read it. Because she did actually post it on my Google business page, the Love Lingo Google business page, and it is also printed on the website under testimonials.
Okay.
Somewhere on the Facebook page too. But she's got a few different Love Lingo shirts, and then she has almost always has a Love Lingo wristband on, and she was like, when she got diagnosed for cancer, she was like, oh, I got to make sure I get my Love Lingo wristband on. And when she went in for chemo, she always had her Love Lingo ladies V-neck on, and she said she put that she had the purple, which is a crown chakra wristband on, and she's actually attributing to her being diagnosed without cancer-free.
Wow.
And she's actually started a different business, and she ordered a whole bunch of Love Lingo wristbands to hand out to her customers, just because she thinks it's that powerful.
That's awesome. Well, and if you think it is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe is true.
Yeah. I wanted to share my story with it. I have a weird health history with my lungs. And when I'm having trouble breathing, or I just don't feel well, I sleep in one of my Love Lingo shirts. And I wake up in the morning feeling better every single time I do it. It's literally being wrapped in positivity and love all night long. And this is my favorite one, because, of course, it's tie-dye and it's long sleeve. So I like that too. But it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy. It just feels good. It feels good to be able to be wrapped in this. And I don't know if you were able to listen to last week's show, but I had Lori Berube from upstate New York. She's a botanist and a homesteader, and she makes all of these wonderful tinctures out of this stuff that she grows. Well, I met Lori at an indoor farmer's market, and I happened to be wearing this shirt. And out of all of these people stuffed into this small place prior pandemic, I saw this lady stick her head out and go, "Your shirt makes me happy." We've been friends ever since. I mean, this shirt literally started a friendship. So I love the energy that's put out by it. And the energy that we put out is the energy we get back.
Yes, definitely. I actually went to a wholesale gem store warehouse yesterday, and I had to have an appointment. I'd scheduled it. They had my business and all that kind of stuff. And I walked in the door, and the woman's like, "Oh, Love Lingo! I knew that name. Oh my gosh, I got some of your shirts."
That's awesome.
And then I ended up running into a couple other business people that I've been with at vendor shows like you and I have. And they're like, "Oh, yeah." That's just kind of fun that people, I mean, once they see it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing
And I've had many people say, I woke up and I'm grumpy and I put on my Love Lingo, and before I get to work, I am bouncing off the walls.
I love it. I love it. I don't even remember, like, when I wear it, it doesn't matter where I am. Somebody compliments the shirt. I love that. And what I do is I yell your website at them. Get your
Well,
own.
thank you.
Get your own at elevatemyvibe.com.
The only complaint that I've ever gotten is like at a vendor show or something. Somebody will talk to me after the fact, and the only complaint I get is I didn't make them buy at least two, because they're like, I have to wash one; it ends up in the laundry.
Yep,
And
exactly.
it's like all I want to wear.
I'll tell you what, though, I do my laundry a lot more often.
It's like if the only comment is that they didn't buy two, that's pretty cool.
Right, exactly.
I'd like to mention this because I've had this happen probably 4 or 5 times, where I'd be at a show and there'd be somebody come up with a child, and you could just see that the child was so sad and so depressed, and just, I mean, you could just feel their energy. It was just down. And I'd tell a Love Lingo story, and we'd discuss different things, and I'd talk about words, and finally, the parent or grandparent or guardian or whatever would say, "Would you like to get one?" And they're like, "Yeah, maybe." It's like, "Well, what color?" And they pick one out, and then it's like, "Well, what size?" And we go back and forth, and then they're like, "Well, maybe you should try it on to make sure that it's the right size for you." And that child will put that on, their face will be just so down and out, and it'll come through the collar, and it'll be a whole new person.
Right.
They're smiling, they're just gleaming, and then they get this weird look on their face because they're like, "Oh, what happened?"
Yeah.
All I did was put a shirt on and I feel different. They're just kind of like,
I have witnessed that.
show, I think you were at that one. And this one girl, it happened like that, and they stayed for like an hour and a half. And before they left, the guardian came up to me and says, "I got to tell you this," because she never took it off. She's like, "Okay, let's take it off and put it away." And the girl's like, "No, I'm wearing it. I'm keeping this on." So she wore it the whole time they were there, and they were getting ready to leave. And the woman came up and she says, she just told me, she said, "I have never felt this good in my life." And I started to cry.
Yeah.
I'm actually tearing up now because it just is. I mean, it's so powerful to hear those kind of wonderful testimonials and stuff. And I mean, people write me testimonials that just blow my mind.
Yeah.
I
get that.
I recouped faster from surgery. I felt better. I mean, I sleep better. It's fun.
Absolutely. I would like to address taking children to psychic fairs. Children are empathic, right? They are absorbing every bit of energy from the adults in that room. And I know that parents and guardians, whatever, take their kids there because they think it's going to make the kids feel better. I don't think what they understand is that kids get drained in that environment. So if you're going to take your kid there, please make sure that they're wearing a Love Lingo shirt, because it makes a difference. It really does. I mean, I see all kinds of kids at psychic fairs that start acting up, that start running around like crazy because they are so overwhelmed with the energy. And it's a very high energy environment, but high energy, a lot of energy, also can mean chaotic energy, because people come to psychic fairs and wellness fairs to get healed, right? They come looking for healing. So when they walk in the door, they aren't necessarily in the best possible place. So just a caution to people who have kids that they take to psychic fairs or wellness fairs. Just be aware that that can happen, because I see so many parents getting frustrated because the kids are running around and their answer is always they're bored. Well, they might be bored, but they're definitely overwhelmed.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I have noticed in a lot of those, that those kids will also walk past Love Lingo table and touch every one of my shirts.
Yep. I see that
They
too.
know it's like they somehow know that they'll walk by, and then their parents are like, "Don't touch them." Like, no, let them touch.
Yeah. Yeah, they do the same thing with the crystals on my table because I have them set up. Just I don't sell the crystals, but they're set up just as part of my setup because I like the way the crystals help me get through the day and feel good. And the kids will go along and they'll just touch every crystal on the table as they're walking along. And parents are like, "Don't do that." I'm the same way. No, it's okay. As long as they leave them there, it's fine. I don't want anyone, swallowing a crystal or something. That would not be good. But let them touch. It's okay. It's all right to be able to have that energy that they need to keep up with that environment. Because again, kids absorb everything. Absolutely everything.
Definitely.
Yeah. And, it's like when my grandson comes over, he completely mirrors my mood. Completely. So I do a lot of work to make sure that when he's here, I'm okay. My energy is up. When he comes in, my office door gets shut. And unless I have an appointment scheduled, I don't go in my office and think about work when he's here. I only focus positive energy to him. At least I try to.
Now, if I remember right, I do see pictures of you holding him while you're wearing a Love Lingo shirt too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking he needs a Love Lingo blanket. I'm gonna need to
I
take
do
care of
have
that
them now,
soon.
by the way, too.
I saw them on your website. I saw
They're
those.
pretty cool and fun. They're so soft.
Are they?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
good.
very soft.
Good. You can't
Bill?
really see that in the pictures.
No, you can't see that, but it doesn't give them justice. It is one of the softest blankets I think I've ever felt. It's crazy.
Wow. Cool.
The only thing that I don't really care for is I can only get them in white. So for sometimes for some people, myself included, white. I love white, but it's not. It kind of tends to get a little dirty with certain people.
That's all right. It's another reason to do laundry.
Yeah.
So you're also a Reiki master. Let's talk about that because you said that when we were talking last week that you do Reiki and you do medical Reiki.
Right.
So can you talk about the difference between those two?
Okay. I'm a certified. I'm a master Reiki teacher in both Karuna and Usui, which are two different kinds of Reiki. And I've gone through that. And then I'm also a certified medical Reiki master, which I was certified through Raven Key's Medical Reiki International.
Okay.
And I'd met Raven and found out she was working and teaching on this. And it's a huge movement. Raven had done, she was a master Reiki teacher out in New York, excuse me. And one of her clients ended up, had huge heart problems and stuff. And she needed to have a heart transplant. And hopefully I got the story right. And if I'm off a little bit, I apologize, Raven. But the client wanted her to do Reiki during the surgery. She's like, I know it'll help. And she's like, would you do it? She's like, well, yeah, but we got to get the surgeon on board and stuff. Well, it ended up the surgeon was Dr. Oz.
Oh, and wow.
Dr. Oz said, yeah, let's do it. And after that, it was like, and I've seen different things and things where Dr. Oz has written and stuff where all of the transplants they've done while there was a Reiki going on during it, they had no rejections.
Wow.
And but they do medical Reiki during surgery and childbirth on the East Coast and have been since the early 2000s. And I am certified to do it here and wherever. And I have talked to numerous hospitals. I personally have not done any in pre-op, post-op, or the OR as of yet, because we get to that point and we've had everybody in the surgery on board and then admin like knocks it out. Says, nope, can't do it. So it's kind of the.
But does that stop you from sending it distance?
No, it doesn't help. It doesn't stop me from sending it.
Right. Because
some people are say, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is, I mean, if the person's right there, that's affecting the whole OR.
Mm-hmm.
So it's affecting. I mean, and I've heard them say that the surgeons and the techs and the nurses and all them, they're all like, the energy is so much different and everything goes so much smoother.
Wow.
Oh, actually, with that said, I ended up having to have cataract surgery last year, which I think you know.
Yeah.
And I sent myself long distance Reiki in advance, and then I gave myself Reiki in pre-op, and then I envisioned giving myself Reiki during the surgery. And in post-op, the surgeon came up to me and says, I have no idea what happened in there, but he says, that was the smoothest and the fastest surgery I've ever had in my life. He said, no, and I just kind of smiled. Like, I know what happened.
The thing is, I mean, doctors are scientists, right? Nurses are scientists. It's all about science. Well, what is so difficult about understanding the science of energy?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I have very often felt like this is common sense stuff, people. Come on. Energy affects energy. I have a friend who started doing Reiki with a group of Reiki practitioners at a military hospital out west with people coming back with PTSD, trauma issues, and all of that. And it has made such a huge difference in the recovery of those soldiers coming back from those situations. Even with people with amputees and that sort of thing, it's really helped the recovery process in helping people move forward and living productive lives after they've served their country, and how powerful that is. So I know that Reiki, and especially medical Reiki, and so if I understand correctly, medical Reiki takes place inside of a medical facility.
Yes, it's actually in the pre-op, post-op, and in the surgery itself.
Okay.
Which I've heard, numerous stories from the people out east that have been doing it so long, and they said, like, the anesthesiologists after the fact, a couple of them have had anesthesiologists come up and say, we have no idea what you did, but this person went out easier, they came out faster, they weren't sick, surgery went smoother, the energy is great, whatever you did, keep it up. It's just, we don't know and we don't understand, but we're not going to question it because we can see the statistics.
Right. And me being who I am, I'd be like, let me teach you.
Yeah.
Let's teach you this so that more people can benefit from it. And it's thank you for making that distinction, because I didn't realize.
Could actually look up. There is a Raven Keys Medical Reiki International has a website too.
Okay.
And that's actually something I should mention too is they also put together a nonprofit organization, Medical Reiki Works, which has raised funds, and they've actually got Dr. Sheldon Friedman, I think is his name. He's a huge surgeon. He does surgeries. He does mastectomies and stuff with medical Reiki people in there all the time. And he's put together an in-depth medical study of the benefits of Reiki during surgery.
Oh, wow.
And they've raised enough money through Medical Reiki Works in order to get it started, but then COVID happened and they won't let anybody in the hospital. So
right.
It kind of got put on hold, and I haven't heard of anything going with it since, but everything's in place where they can do these studies. I mean, all the researchers, the nurses, doctors, surgeons, everybody's in place. And they've raised enough money to get started, I guess. So
oh, wow.
they just got to get to where they can get back in the hospital and do it. Because then more medical people will understand. I mean, once they see and they have documented proof from other surgeons doing it,
Excellent.
So it's exciting. There's all kinds of things changing in the world.
I love it. We're going to take one more break. We got some more bills to pay here at the station, and then we'll be right back.
Awesome.
Looking to launch your new masterpiece? Then try something new with Moonbow Publishing and Publications. At Moonbow, we have a strong desire to serve authors in a powerful and meaningful way. After all, you've poured your heart and soul into your writing, and we fully understand and respect that. Remember this: you will own the copyright to your work. You will have the final say on your work before published. Even after all of that, we've saved the best for last. We won't take a percentage sold. Nope, not a penny. Excited about MoonbowPublications.com yet? We thought so. Take advantage of our company's services like book editing, formatting, and covers, publishing, and photography. Moonbow Publishing and Publications has everything you're looking for in a company. Remember, we will not keep any commissions. We are a boutique publishing company focusing on spiritual, health and wellness, and personal growth genres. So come and see what we can do for you at MoonbowPublications.com. That's MoonbowPublications.com. Moonbow Publications, a new kind of publishing company.
Welcome back. It is 47 minutes past the hour. I'm here with David Anderson, who is the creator of Love Lingo Apparel and other items, like teacups and all kinds of fun stuff, yoga mats. His website is a lot of fun just to browse, and I need to go on there and get a blanket for my grandson. We are going to be having so much fun with just changing the energy, as we're moving forward. And speaking of having some fun, Dave, are you up for a challenge?
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure how many listeners we have going, because I know we're on several platforms, and but I would like to open it up, and we'll keep chatting. But if anyone has a psychic question and you want to put it in the chat, Dave and or I will do our best to answer your psychic questions. So I know Dave is an intuitive, and he doesn't often display those talents publicly, but I know that he's got it. He's just so in tune with everything. So if you have a psychic question, you wanted to have a question answered about your personal life or your job or whatever, just throw it in the comments and we will get to it. In the meantime, we're just going to keep chatting about love lingo and the power of the spoken word, because it is such an important thing. Go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to mention, just so people have an idea, we do have like ladies' tanks, racerbacks, and V-necks, and because I came out with just unisex crews, and then the ladies were like, hey, we want to go to yoga, and so it's just kind of grown into all that. And I was actually at a holistic show, and this guy had a hanging vibrating table with water in it and crystals, and then he'd crawl underneath and he had strings pulled to the tones of the chakras. And a couple people, other practitioners, we were all standing around, and it was my turn. I went to get on the table, and the guy's like, lay down on the yoga mat, and I went, oh, yoga mat. The guy's like, yeah, it's a yoga mat. And then all these other people that know me were like, oh, yeah, yoga mat. And the guy's like, what do you guys talk about? They're like, Love Lingo yoga mats. So we do have Love Lingo yoga mats that are printed. I mean, they're 1/4 inch thick, 24 by 72, not latex, not bad ink, but they're printed top to bottom with the Love Lingo images. So, I mean, the people just love doing downward dog on that.
Oh, yeah.
I have mine underneath my Reiki table. And I have a regular client who, once I put it under, he's like, oh my gosh, I can really feel a big difference just having that yoga mat underneath there with all that positivity. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. And completely off topic. We have vocal exercises and word exercises that we do before we do shows, to get our mouths and our voice all lingo. Love Lingo yoga mat I'm adding that to the list of things to say 5 times before I go on the air.
That'd be good. Yeah, there you go.
Because I was watching you trying to say it, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good tongue twister.
Yeah, it is kind of, yeah. Earlier you said, I mean, because you were talking on words and stuff, and one thing that I like to mention when people are, it's like you got to watch what and how you say things. And it's like, instead of focusing on the negative, focus on the positive and maybe change things to, I wonder how fast I can see a positive change in my life.
Yeah.
Or I wonder how quickly this turns around. Or it's just something like that, because then you're also putting something subconscious, into your subconscious, where you're
Right.
actually looking for just that one little thing.
Right.
That one
You're
little
right.
positive thing can change your whole day.
It sure can. It sure can. And I think you have a really good point there. It trains your brain to look for the positive instead of saying, "Oh, what else can go wrong?" Which trains your I'll get this yet. Trains your brain to look for something negative, when what we need to do is be training our brains to look for positive. And that's a really good point. That's a really good point. I love the idea of when I find a penny on the ground or whatever, pick it up and say, how does it get any better than this? And I put it in my pocket. And very soon after that, I'll find a dime or a quarter or a dollar, and I pick those up and go, oh, thank you. How does it get any better than this? And really, gratitude is a big part of that as well.
Right. And actually, before I even came on, I heard you talking about, gratitude, being grateful, and I am. And I mean, I am are the most powerful words in the universe.
Absolutely.
And it's like,
right.
Whatever you say after I am, you are. So be careful what you say.
I want you to repeat that again. I think people need to hear that again.
Whatever you say after I am, you are.
Absolutely.
Because you know how many people you hear say, well, I don't even want to say it because.
Right. You don't even want to use the example.
I don't even want to use that as an analogy, because it's like, then I'm putting it out there. So anything you say after I am, you are.
Right. So I am amazing. I am successful.
Yes.
I am happy. I am joyful. I am healthy. Whatever it is that you want to say it, because I am.
I am pure unconditional love.
Oh, I love that one. I love that one. That's awesome. I would like to challenge people, and you're not going to show this to anybody probably. Take a page in your journal and just write I am at the top, and then just start writing positive things. Whenever they pop into your head, write it down. I did this once years and years and years ago, and it was a standard size notebook. So it wasn't like a smaller journal. It was a standard size notebook. And I wrote things I love about myself, and I would just keep adding to that list. And I had over 150 things on that list, and I was going to keep adding to it. And then the notebook got wet, and that was the only paper where the water erased the words, and I had to start over. And it's like, thank you, universe, for, not letting me rest on my laurels there and making me start over. And I did. I sometimes I still will write down, positive things after the I am, and it's just so, so, so powerful. I am love. I am joy. I am happy. I am a good parent, because a lot of parents struggle with, oh, why am I being so hard on my kid, especially little ones. I am a good parent. I am a great parent. I'm a loving parent. Repeat these things to yourself, and that will transfer right to your children. Important
Very
stuff.
true. Great point.
Important stuff. Yeah. What else would you like to share with us before we take it out this morning, Dave?
Oh, wow. It's already that time.
I know, right? We're going to at the end of every show, I do a guided meditation. Are you up for doing it this time, or do you want me to do it?
No, I'll let you do it. I mean, I'm
okay. I did warn you about it.
I don't want to take it away from you.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen any questions come up. So
Me either.
How long of a guided little meditation do you usually do?
Yeah, it's a minute or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention when I'm looking here, a lot of times when I'm wearing Love Lingo, as you walk towards people, you can see them light up and change, whether they're reading your shirt or not. It's just, I don't know if you've noticed that.
I
And
have.
most of the time it affects them, but I've had a few friends that I know that have been like in foul moods and they don't change. And I'll just say, do me a favor, shut up and read the top 2 lines.
Yep.
And I mean, you can't read the top 2 lines without it bringing a smile to
Right.
you. You can't.
Exactly.
You can't. So it's like, I love the fact that Love Lingo's mission is we're changing the world one shirt at a time.
That's awesome. And one blanket and one cup and one
Yep.
yoga mat and one mouse pad and one.
It used to be one shirt at a time, and I'm so used
Yep.
to that, but it's one Love Lingo at a time. So
One Love Lingo item at a time. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dave, I want to thank you for being here with us today. This
thank
has
you.
been a great conversation. And I really hope that people take this to heart and start changing the way that we speak about everything from our own feelings to world politics to the environment. You know, the more positive we put out there, the more positive impact we're going to have.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Are we ready for a little meditation?
Awesome. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
everybody.
just thank you, Dave, for being with us. So just close your eyes, relax, take a few deep but comfortable breaths. And as you exhale, just let your shoulders fall and your neck relax. The next time you exhale, visualize roots growing from the bottoms of your feet down through the building and into the earth below, growing down further and further through the layers of sand and soil and rock, all the way down to the center of the planet, where your roots will enter into a crystal cavern. All of the crystals in this cavern have words etched on them. Allow your roots to grow and expand to wrap around the crystals with the following words: peace, love, joy, wisdom, clarity, health, happiness, balance, prosperity, gratitude, compassion. Leaving your roots wrapped around these crystals, draw energy from the crystals through your roots, all the way up through the layers of earth, moving up and entering your feet, moving up your legs, lighting up every chakra as it moves up through your body, starting at the root, envisioning it brightly in red, moving up to your sacral chakra and envisioning that site lighting up in orange, and up into your solar plexus, lighting it up with yellow, and moving up into your heart, lighting it up with green, and then up into your throat and lighting it up with blue, moving up through your neck and your face to your third eye, and your third eye chakra lighting up with indigo, and up to the top of your head, lighting it up with violet. And now visualize a beam of light connecting these 7 chakras together. And when you can see the beam of light or feel the beam of light, move your consciousness into it and become the light. Leaving your body where it is to rest and rejuvenate as the beam of light rise up through your crown chakra, up through the ceiling and the roof and out into the sky as you begin your journey, moving through the sky, leaving Earth's atmosphere, and moving through the Milky Way galaxy past the planets and the stars, all the way out, leaving the galaxy and moving through deep space, all the way to the edge of the universe. As you pass the edge of the known universe, you enter into the place of pure divine creation. Allow your light to disperse and become one with the creative, loving energy of the divine universe. And take a moment now to set your intentions for the rest of the day. When you have set your intentions for the rest of the day, draw your beam of light back together, bringing with it the shared knowledge and wisdom of the divine creative universe. When your beam of light has been completely reassembled, leaving an etheric thread to keep you connected to the universe, begin your journey back to your body, moving through deep space, entering and moving through the Milky Way galaxy, coming back through Earth's atmosphere, down through the sky, the roof, the ceiling, and re-entering your body at the crown chakra. Feel the divine loving light of the universe as it moves through and fills you, allowing some of that energy to continue to move down your roots to re-energize the crystals that support our planet. This is where we will spend the rest of our day, perfectly balanced between heaven and earth. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes. Thank you for being with us today, Dave, and thank you everyone for listening. And I will see you again next week, bright and early at 9 a.m. Central on WLTK-DB. Have a blessed week.
Thank you.